Welcome learners to this session of BA Honours English Part 3, Paper 6. Today's topic is The Heart of the Matter by Graham Greene. Today we'll be taking up the novel that is The Heart of the Matter as a psychological or psychoanalytical reading. Now, The Heart of the Matter is not just a religious novel, but rather a psychological study recalling man's struggle to live up to the demands of the rulings of both faith and society. A psychological novel entails or involves an intense focus on the interior life of the characters, representing their subjective thoughts, feelings, associations, fantasies, reveries, contemplations, memories, desires, and dreams. Now, these emotional reactions and internal states of the characters are influenced by and in turn activate external events in a meaningful and beneficial give and take manner. Plot is subordinate to and dependent upon the probing of the delineation of a character. The protagonist of the novel, that is Major Scobie, he has converted to Roman Catholicism in order to marry Louisa. Louisa is also a Catholic. According to Roman Catholic faith and its teachings, regular receiving of the sacrament of reconciliation and attending the Holy Mass and communion with God are very important for their followers. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, if a sinner goes to a communion in a state of sin, it leads to his damnation. I quote, according to the church's command, after having attained the age of discretion, each of the faithful is bound by an obligation faithfully to confess serious sins at least once a year. Anyone who is aware of having committed a mortal sin must not receive Holy Communion. Even he experiences deep contrition without having first received sacramental absolution, unless he has a grave reason for receiving communion and there is no possibility of going to confession. Unquote. So, this is from the proper catechism. Now, apart from Catholicism, in the heart of the matter, we deal with guilt, suffering, death, and salvation also. Scobie is openly concerned with the realities of salvation and damnation. Being a Catholic, he knows that he is a sinner and is constantly tormented with the awareness of sin. He has sinned against his wife, he has committed adultery. So, this sin, it torments him. Graham Greene is interested in the interaction of the public and private lives of his characters, and this dual tendency is depicted through Scobie in this novel. He is crushed between the age of religion and the modern age and is caught up between duty and desire. He wants happiness for others and solitude and peace for himself. He prays to God for his own death before causing and giving unhappiness to others. Perhaps people do not struggle too much for the happiness of others. From this novel, one draws a sense of love and pity for the hero's difficulties, his struggles, and is increased by the simplicity and clarity in the writing of the novel. Although he has a Catholic wife, we are talking again about Major Scobie. Out of pity, Scobie falls in love with a pathetic 19-year-old young widow rescued from the torpedo and brought to the colony as a survivor. In Scobie's heart, we find that love is confused with pity. The girl's misery makes him more sympathetic. So, out of pity for this girl, the affair kickstarts. But there is an element of pride in his pity, for he distrusts God, doubts his capacity to save his own creatures. So, look at the scheme of things. He has come to a stage where he doubts God, the omnipotent God. Even at the end, just before committing suicide, Scobie hears God's voice in silence, asking him to keep his trust in God. But he feels hopeless and unable to take a decision. He responds, I quote, "No, I don't trust you. I have never trusted you." Unquote. Though Scobie is an unhappy person, he is very much concerned with happiness. There are two remarkable instances in the novel where he relishes happiness. The first is just after his wife left for South Africa, when, I quote from the book, from the textbook, Scobie went out into the dripping darkness holding his big striped umbrella. Except for the sound of the rain on the road, on the roofs, on the umbrella, there was absolute silence. Only the dying moan of the sirens continued for a moment or two to vibrate within the ear. It seemed to Scobie later that this was the ultimate border he has reached in happiness, being in darkness alone, with the rain falling, without love or pity. I unquote. His second moment of happiness leads him to his own damnation as he leaves the Nissen hut, having found and fallen in love with Helen Rold. He feels happy. I quote, they both had an immense sense of security. They were friends. They, Helen Rold and Scobie. They were friends who could never be anything else than friends. They were safely divided by a dead husband, a living wife, a father who was a clergyman, a game mistress called Helen, and years of experience. He said, "Good night." He walked away, feeling an extraordinary happiness. But this is he would not remember as happiness, as he would remember setting out in the dark, in the rain, alone. I unquote. So this session will continue, and this particular topic is not yet complete. So meeting in the next session. Thank you.